Behavior expert reveals exactly what to say to a narcissist. Have you ever found yourself caught in an exhausting conversation with someone who only seems to care about themselves? Maybe you're trying to have a rational discussion, but they're more focused on dominating the conversation or seeking constant validation. Narcissists can be incredibly difficult to communicate with, often leaving you feeling frustrated, unheard, and emotionally drained. But what if there was a way to engage with them that didn't lead to conflict or further emotional turmoil? In this video, a behavior expert reveals exactly what to say to a narcissist to manage these interactions with greater ease and emotional protection. If you've ever been stuck in a conversation where a narcissist pushes your boundaries or manipulates the dialogue to feed their ego, you're in the right place. You'll gain insights on the psychology of narcissism and learn strategies that not only help you speak effectively but also protect your emotional well-being. Understanding narcissism, the root of the issue. Before we dive into the what to say, it's critical to understand the why behind narcissistic behavior. Narcissism is not just a matter of being self-absorbed. There's a psychological structure that informs how a narcissist operates in the world. Narcissistic traits stem from a deep-seated need for validation and admiration, often masking an underlying fragility in their sense of self. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, while more extreme, is characterized by a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, a need for excessive admiration, and a lack of empathy. However, not everyone who displays narcissistic traits has NPD. Many people exhibit narcissistic behaviors, particularly in high-stress environments or relationships, without fully meeting the diagnostic criteria. Understanding this is important because it shapes how you should approach communication. Narcissists often lack emotional regulation and sensitivity to the needs of others, making them prone to defensive reactions when their ego is threatened. However, beneath this arrogance and disregard for others is an individual who is constantly seeking admiration and fearing rejection. They may not always acknowledge it, but their grandiose behavior often stems from an insecurity they are reluctant to confront. Why communication with narcissists is challenging. Conversations with narcissists often feel like navigating a minefield. At first glance, they may seem confident or charismatic, but underneath lies a person who struggles to manage criticism, can't handle disagreements, and frequently seeks validation in unhealthy ways. A narcissist's overwhelming need for praise makes them highly sensitive to even subtle signs of disapproval or dissent. This means that expressing your thoughts honestly or challenging their views can trigger defensiveness, anger, or withdrawal. Because they tend to project their own emotions onto others, a conversation with a narcissist can quickly devolve into personal attacks or a power struggle. So, how can you keep the conversation on track without feeding into their self-centered behavior? The key is in your language, how you phrase things, when you express them, and how you set boundaries. What to say to a narcissist, the behavior expert's guide. When it comes to talking to a narcissist, you need to manage both their ego and your own emotions. Here are some phrases and strategies that can help you navigate these conversations more effectively. 1. I understand that you're upset, and I respect your perspective. Narcissists often seek validation for their feelings, particularly in moments of frustration or anger. Acknowledging their emotional state can de-escalate potential conflict. By framing the response in a way that respects their emotions but doesn't give them the power to control the conversation, you acknowledge their feelings while maintaining your own boundaries. This approach is non-confrontational, but still communicates that you're in control of how you engage with them. Why this works? Narcissists crave validation. When you validate their emotional state, it satisfies their need for attention. However, when you add "I respect your perspective," You're showing them that you're not in agreement, but you're still giving them space to express their emotions without attacking them. 2. That's an interesting perspective. Let me think about it. Narcissists often want to impress others with their intellect, so complimenting their ideas can soothe their egos. Instead of launching into a rebuttal, responding with this phrase gives you time to process the situation. It prevents you from being reactive, which is important when dealing with someone who may manipulate the situation to suit their narrative. Why this works? You're not giving an outright agreement, but you're allowing them to feel heard. It also buys you time to avoid saying something you may regret later. 3. I understand that you see it that way, but my perspective is different. Narcissists tend to see things from their own perspective and expect others to conform to their view of reality. When you offer your own perspective, you're presenting a different point of view without dismissing theirs. This phrase works well in challenging situations where the narcissist is trying to impose their viewpoint. Why this works? This response doesn't invalidate their perspective, but sets a clear boundary. You're indicating that while you acknowledge their point of view, you won't let their perspective override your own. 4. I'll need time to think about that before I respond. Narcissists tend to rush conversations to manipulate outcomes in their favor, particularly when they sense an opportunity to dominate the dialogue. By taking a pause, you remove the pressure and take control of the situation. This phrase signals that you're not willing to be pressured into agreement, giving you the space to formulate a more thoughtful response. Why this works? Narcissists thrive on fast-paced interactions where they can control the narrative. Slowing things down gives you time to reflect and keeps you from getting caught up in their manipulative tactics. 5. Let's keep this focused on the facts. When narcissists feel threatened or lose control of a conversation, they often resort to emotional manipulation, gaslighting, or deflection. This statement refocuses the conversation on objective reality and facts, which minimizes the emotional volatility they may try to incite. Why this works? By redirecting the conversation to facts, you remove the narcissist's ability to distort reality or play on emotional triggers. This is an essential tactic when dealing with narcissistic behavior that thrives on emotional manipulation. 6. I hear you, but I have my own boundaries that I need to respect. Narcissists often disregard boundaries, pushing others to conform to their desires. This phrase clearly asserts your personal boundaries while still acknowledging the other person's perspective. It makes it clear that you are not willing to compromise your well-being or emotional state for the sake of their demands. Why this works? Setting boundaries with a narcissist can be incredibly difficult. This phrase allows you to communicate your limits without confrontation, showing that while you respect their position, your boundaries are non-negotiable. 7. I think we're at an impasse, so let's revisit this later. Conversations with narcissists can often reach an emotional deadlock where neither party is able to agree. In these cases, it's important to know when to walk away and return to the conversation later. This phrase provides an exit from an emotionally charged situation without escalating things further. Why this works? It offers a clear endpoint to the conversation and puts the ball in their court. Narcissists may feel the need to continue pushing their agenda, but this phrase allows you to disengage in a way that doesn't escalate tensions. Why these phrases work? At the core of these strategies is the need to manage the narcissist's ego while protecting your own emotional space. Narcissists often push others to the brink, seeking admiration or attempting to control situations. The key is to maintain a calm demeanor, acknowledge their perspective when necessary, but remain firm in your own boundaries. Each of these phrases works because they are designed to validate the narcissist's feelings without agreeing with their narrative, buy you time to think, and avoid impulsive reactions. Redirect the conversation back to facts and solutions, reducing emotional manipulation. Set clear boundaries while maintaining a non-confrontational stance. When and how to use these phrases. Knowing what to say is only half the battle. It's equally important to understand when and how to use these phrases. Timing and delivery are crucial when interacting with narcissists. They are quick to sense vulnerability, so speaking in a calm, controlled manner without showing frustration is key to making these strategies effective. Use early in conversations. Start conversations with an awareness of the narcissist's tendencies. If you know a difficult topic is coming up, use these phrases early to set the tone. During emotional escalations. If the conversation becomes heated, use these phrases to steer the dialogue away from emotion and toward logic or resolution. When establishing boundaries, firm boundaries should be established early on. Narcissists often test limits, so reinforcing your stance consistently is vital for long-term interactions. Closing thoughts. Communicating with narcissists in everyday life. Interacting with narcissistic individuals doesn't have to be a draining experience. By using these strategies, you can protect your emotional well-being while still engaging in productive conversations. The goal is not to change the narcissist, but to find ways to communicate effectively, whether you're in a personal relationship, at work, or dealing with a difficult family member. Thank you for watching, and I hope these insights help you in navigating your interactions with narcissistic individuals. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth content on communication strategies. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.